This is the Avalanche coin 1 year overview reading for the year 2023. It's currently October 17th, 2022, 12:22 a.m. Eastern Time. The overall theme and behavior for Avalanche throughout the year of 2023 is sideways rotation, with a sharp dip in the midst of that sideways rotation, and in the when we have that sharp dip, we revisit a support level that was recently a past opportunity. On the scale of a 1 year, I'd say probably like within 3 months time, is roughly 3 months time is recent. I'd say 3 to 6 months, really. And it's crossed with quite a bit of behavior where we're bumping up along resistance or bumping along resistance. We might break through, bump along resistance. What's important to notate here is that we have highs at the beginning of the year, in the first 2 quarters of the year, and lows in the last 2 quarters of the year, and that's pretty bearish, just by logic. Behavior around the 1 year high, or the highest high of 2023. There's going to be erratic behavior back and forth through the same price level, and in the midst of that erratic behavior, there's going to be a point at which we revisit a crest that was recently a past opportunity. Again, same range for it recently, like between 3 to 6 months. Behavior around the low, I'm advised to be cautious around the low. There's significant trade opportunities around the lows of 2023, and it looks to me that we're supposed to revisit, right? So there's a low in what appears to be around March, and then there's a low in like the end of August-ish. A low and another low at the beginning-ish of October. So we probably revisit lows. Like, we probably revisit the same low, is my sense. That's what I'm picking up. All right. In any case, let's get into it. So, in early January, we start out. It looks like we had a lot of price movement at the end of 2022. And then we have a sharp decline in early January through multiple support levels on a 1 year, on the scale of like 1 year chart. There's significant headwinds that push the coin lower off of the high in January, and there's like a point at which there's a resistance level, and we're kind of like doing this below it, and that would be like the kind of behavior that we would see around the January high. And the January high is also very likely going to be a year's high, at least the first year's high. There's a cash in or a cash out opportunity at the January low. Excuse me. And it looks like the end of January we rally pretty strongly, pushing the upper end of a range higher, and likely continue rallying into the beginning of February. Either that, or there's 2 separate highs, one in January and one in February. But my sense is likely that there's a significant drop from the February high early in February, so there's a trade opportunity there around the high, and a decline that takes us like to a decline that from the February high and year's high, or year's first high, or prominent crest or peak. There's a sharp decline, a prominent decline that would stand out on a 1 year chart off of that high. Period of volatility with a sharp dip in the midst of that period of volatility in early February, and then from a crest, the behavior around the February low, we sell from a crest down to and through a support level, and then we do like a U-shaped reversal below the support level and come back and reuse it as support, and then we push higher in late February. It looks like, even in the face of seemingly overwhelming headwinds, we push higher. Advise that the low in February is not a good time to start any new positions, and there should be some unrest there. There may be unrest within the Avalanche community, or there may be unrest like with crypto in general. Something going on, like Usually this ruin indicates domestic unrest, but in this from the standpoint of like a crypto, it could be like a tight-knit community. I don't know a lot about Avalanche. So in the midst of that move higher, it looks like it starts, the move higher, a significant move higher that'll stand out for the month of February, really starts in like the third week. And then by the end of February, just before the end of February, there's an opportunity to position oneself to open up some protection ahead of a significant downturn, possibly a natural disaster or something. But there's a significant downturn in March. We have the unicursal, and we have a correlation there to years low. And the trade opportunity in early February, the swing trade opportunity in early February involves a significant move higher that would stand out on at least a 1 month chart. Interesting. I think it is two separate highs. I think it's two separate highs. Okay, so we have a high in the end of January, right? We push the upper end of a range higher, and then we have a bit of volatility in here in early February and a sharp dip. We sell to and through a support level, come back, reuse it as support, and then we take off pretty high, and there's another high there at the end of February. And that's where we should open up some protection. That crest, we fall a little bit from that crest in early March, and excuse me, we fall pretty strongly. There's a significant drop in like starting from like the first week. It's like probably the first week of March. A significant drop. It'll stand out on a one year chart for sure. And there's quite a bit of volatility there. We revisit a support level that was recently a past opportunity. Yeah, significant drop because we fall from the February high, which is a year's high up until that point anyways. We fall from there after opening up some protection. There's a significant drop, and then at the low of March we have a really like strong move to the upside out of the March low, which is also the first major low for Avalanche coin in 2023. It's in close proximity to the March high as well on a timeline. It's the March low and first low for the year is within close time proximity to the March high. So within like, I don't know, within a couple weeks, I'd say. But in early March, there's opportunity in the midst of volatility to position oneself in both directions. You can short Avalanche by selling, short selling futures. And then we have a notable move to the upside out of the low from severely overbought territory, or excuse me, from severely oversold territory, or possibly to fill a previous gap down. But there's a strong move there, maybe short squeeze of some kind. A strong move out of the low, and a really big move to reach the high there in March. It's a March high, not a year's high. And then towards the end, it looks like the high for March, the month's high for March is in the late March, within like the last 2 weeks. And we have a move higher through resistance, critical resistance on a 1 year chart or a year-to-date chart. We stay above it briefly, and then we have a full retracement back down through that same price level shortly thereafter. And it looks like in early August we're selling down, continue selling from that peak through multiple support levels on a year-to-date chart. Did I say August? I meant April. So we sell down in early April, sell from the peak in late March, where we go up through resistance and then back down, and then we continue selling into early April, where there's decline through multiple support levels in early April. The low, interesting. Well, the low and the month's low for April forms when we have some sideways fluctuations with bearish trend preceding a rally. The behavior around the high, looks like we have another prominent crest or high for the year here in late April. So it looks like out of the low which takes place probably mid-April, like the end of the second weekish, there's a rally that commences pretty strongly. We rise and meet the resistance, likely the resistance that we have for the year thus far, i.e. the price level of the last high that we fell from. We likely hit that, and then technicals make it seem that we're going to break through it, but instead we turn around and we decline through key support on a year-to-date chart. It looks like that high where we have the failed attempt to break through key resistance followed by a decline through key support, and there's a high there in late April. I think that high may actually take place in it's either late April or early March. I like and in early March we have two big moves, one up and then it's followed by a full retracement back down, and they'll stand out on a year-to-date chart at least. There's a revisiting of a support level here in the midst of some sideways rotation. A lot of price movement around the high or into the high for March. A lot of price movement into the high. And then there's a failed attempt to break through key resistance in March at the high, followed by a decline through key support. There's an important price level highlighted on the technical, a critical technical price level highlighted around the low for Avalanche. So I'd want to notate what that price level is once once May passes. I'd want to notate what that price is because it'll likely come in pretty important later, like probably over here in August. But we'll get to that. There's sideways rotation. Oh, I missed something on there. Sideways rotation along a key support level on a one-year chart in late May. Wow, late May, and it looks like there's in late May there's a high, a year's high, or early January, but from that there's a failed attempt to break through key resistance there, and we fall pretty hard. There's actually I'm advised to open up some protection in the third week in the midst of a big move higher to reach third week of May to reach the high for May. I'm advised to open up some protection because there's a strong decline towards the end of May or into early June, and there's also a year's high or prominent crest or peak in early June. So we fall pretty hard in June, and we reach a critical technical price level around the low of the month's low of June. So I'd want to notate what that price level is as well. Behavior to reach the high the month's high in June is we successfully turn key resistance into new support, so that's pretty bullish. However, late June there's a significant drop. It may be more than just Avalanche. It could be like a crypto-wide kind of decline here based on the universe card, but it's definitely a strong drop here. When we revisit a past support level that was recently a past opportunity again. So thus far we've done that in early May, in early March and early May, and in late June. Guys, take a moment to help support the channel. We do everything here for free. This takes all of my time. I don't have a social life, nor do I want one. This is too important in my opinion. But we do need your support to keep this channel rolling. So please take a look at the links in the comment or in the description, and there's plenty of different ways you could support. Most importantly, make sure that you subscribe and share with somebody you think this would help. All right, guys. So in July, we have. There's a trade opportunity, a significant... Oh, I left out 2 trade opportunities. So around the high in March, there's 2 trade opportunities as well. Swing trade opportunities. There's one trade opportunity that involves a notable move higher. It would stand out on a 1-month chart. And the other trade and that would reach a high. And then the other trade opportunity involves sideways rotation along a key support level on a 1-month chart that ends with a fast sudden move to the upside, standing out on a 1-month chart. Okay, so in July, in early July, we have a period of volatility. There may be some like legislative stuff going on. There's some legalities here, but there's a fast sudden move higher in the midst of this period of volatility, and actually ending this period of volatility in early May. And we have a big move higher, a big rally higher, spike higher to reach the July high. But at the July high, the halting of a bullish trend is marked by a strong decline through critical support level on a 1-year chart or a year-to-date chart. And then in late July, we have a rally that increases with momentum moving forward into the end of the month. Behavior around the low, we have a lot of volatility, sideways volatility. Sideways volatility increasing with bearish sentiment as we move into the low, but as we it looks like the low is probably in early, but the July low is probably in early July, and then we rally, increasing with momentum into August. In August, we reached the upper end of a range. We fall pretty hard from a critical price level. It's likely that the price level, that's the August month's high, is very within close price proximity to the month's low for May. And we fall pretty hard from that price level. It looks like there's there's a year's low, another year's low, and it's hard to pinpoint if it's in early or late August, because we have a correlation in early August to revisiting of a past opportunity at a key support level when there's a sharp dip in a period of sideways rotation, and that would take us to the low probably again. And by the low, I mean the year's low. And then in late August, there's a notable rally standing out on a 1-year chart or a year-to-date chart to reach a month's high. Looks like towards the end of the month. There's 2 trade opportunities there involved in that low. One is involves a strong rally higher, a strong spike higher that would stand out on a 1-month chart, and the other trade opportunity there involves a period of sideways rotation along a key support level that ends with a fast sudden move to the upside. In early September, we have multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance. The high of September, or the month's high of September, we sell from overbought territory on RSI, or excuse me, not RSI, but from overbought territory. The month's low of September, there's a strong move to the upside to reach for a distant resistance level. And it looks like there's a significant resistance level that we meet there's a big rally out of the low, and I think the low is probably there's a really big move in September out of the low to reach for distant resistance, and a really strong move towards the end of September, like the later part of September, to the upside, bumping up against resistance, possibly breaking through resistance, bumping up along resistance, with a breakout towards the very end of the month. And then we see another another year's low or significant trough for the year again, but I think it's probably the same price level again, because I see this correlation in October to revisiting a significant opportunity, recent opportunity, and we've got a low there again, so it's probably the same low. We revisit past problems in early October, and there's a decline through a critical support level that we recently broke through once before. So within probably 3 months somewhere, probably that when we broke to that other low. And they're selling from near overbought territory to reach the low of October. Matter of fact, if this isn't the same low as the previous one, then it's going to be the lowest low. It's going to be the lowest low, whether or not it's the same price level as the previous one that we had in late August, but it has the possibility to be lower. There's a U-shaped dip from near the month's high of October, and it forms near the intersection of two perpendicular diagonal trend lines. There's a significant trade there as well. Significant trade near the high. Looks like the high probably is on borderline on early September or excuse me, late September or early October, when we fall pretty hard to reach that year's low. And then sideways rotation, revisiting a past opportunity at a key support level in the period of sideways rotation in late October. I'm advised to buy protection in late October, and we have another strong decline in the midst of some bearish price swings in early November. A notable decline off of the high of the month's high of November to and through a support level, and then we rotate sideways along the key support level. That's the behavior around the month's high of November. The month's low of November, we have a significant move higher. There's a breakout that would stand out on a year-to-date chart. We bump along resistance. We're bumping along resistance, but we break through that resistance, and then there's 3 pokes through the same price level in late November. After the third poke, there's a sharp decline. In early December, there's a significant fake out or shakeout or some sort of technical behavior, chart behavior that's intentional, and like creates misdirection, and it's intended to like create impulsive decisions on the part of the investor. And I mean, on a scale, this would stand out significantly on the scale of a 1-year chart. There's a price level, there's the science price level involved. So very likely this price level right here is involved. Yes, whatever the month's low of June is likely involved here in this fake out. And then we have around the low of the month's low of December, there's a decline that ends with a fast sudden move to the upside. In late December, out of a decline, there's a big move to the upside, all the way from the bottom of a range to the top of a range. And the behavior around the month's high for December is sideways bullish price swings. Sneak preview for the following year is a significant move higher, fast sudden move higher. It looks like it actually starts in around the high of December when we have these bullish price swings commencing. That's Avalanche for 2022. All in all, I think what I would be doing here is I would be buying on dips. I would be buying Avalanche coin on dips. Definitely on dips, yes. I'd be buying Avalanche coin on dips. That's basically what I'll be doing throughout 2023. Guys, let me know what you think by hitting the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Most importantly, follow that rule of karma, my friends. It's so important. It changes your reality. It makes your reality better. And in turn, your reality makes all those around yours better as well. All you got to do is pay it forward. Make sure you spend that money out of love. and the universe is going to send it back to you tenfold in all directions, my friends. I'll see you on the next one.